back to Kilimo Faida TV, your host B Kimani and your agronomist. Today we have an interesting story. I know most people want to invest in agriculture. People don't have maybe ideas, the best idea, what should I plant, what would give me best profits, what would give me the kind of start I want in agriculture. That's why today I'm bringing to you this topic about common beans farming. There are several types of beans, but there are these mostly which are very easy to start with. That's why we call them common beans. We have a variety of them, and number one, for common beans, it's one of the staple food in Kenya after maize, because you'll use them in stews, you use them for mchele, for ugari in some cases. In every hotel tunasema nipe chapu beans, nipe chafua and all this. That's why it's very popular in Kenya, and coupled by its rich nature in protein. It's very rich in proteins. So how many types do we have? We have Mwitemania, we have Los Coco, we have Nyota variety is a very new one. We have which other one? We have Chelalang bean, we have yellow bean, known for its nature of being gasless, and it's taking a lot of popularity in Kenya. So that's why I want us to look at one or two things allowed beans farming, because some people used to try it and then maybe they fall, or maybe at times they face very difficult challenges. So today we are going to look at planting, nutrition, pest and disease control, harvest and post-harvest practices. In this journey, today I'm in Logai constituency, neighboring Kabarak, Moi Kabarak, Kisheha farm on the other side. Here, it's one of the areas known of its good climate that produces common beans very well. And today, we have this specific variety called Chelalang, originated from Egerton University. Some of its best features is that it's very vegetative and it gives a lot of pods, and the productivity is very high. Now, straight to our today's business. But before that, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kilimo Faida, to ensure that every day, every time we are giving you this information, to ensure that your farming venture is as interesting, as profitable, as enjoyable as possible. Yours again, your host B Kimani. Now, beans farming. Number one, seed selection is the most important step in your farming. And in this case, I want to encourage you to be using certified seeds. Certified seeds are normally have a KEPHIS label. That means you're sure of disease-free, very new, and very productive source of beans or source of seeds. In this case, for Chelalang, you can go to Faida company located in Nakuru. You're going to access your Chelalang beans. After selecting your seed, the next thing is, where do beans do best? Number one, soil. They do well in well-drained soils, rich in organic matter. So if you realize your soil is not in very good condition, ensure to routinely or regularly add on organic matter from maybe your goats, your cows. From there, they love moderate weather, not a lot of rainfall or very dry areas. Moderate, say 500 to 1000 altitude, they will do very well. From there, while planting, the spacing is a key consideration. From low intervals, we do say 2 feet, and then from one seed to another, best at 1 feet. That's what we call 40 by 15 centimeters. From there, do we require to do special land preparation? Yes, it's very okay. They love well-tilled soils, because the bean seeds, they are what we call short-term crops. So they don't want very rocky soils or with very hard textures. So prepare your land very well to plant these beans and have a very good venture. What is the seed rate? Like someone might be wondering, maybe you're in Nairobi, you're farming, and someone tells you, your workers tells you, we want 50 kgs for 1 acre. No, it should be between 16 to 30 kgs per acre. 16 to 30 kgs per acre, depending on the mode of planting. Some people will do broadcast, which I completely discourage. It's always good to do lows. And you'll see from my farmer, this is what we have done. We have gone through the rows. I think as far as planting is considered, that's the best. From there, where planting will require now to have a specific nutritional program. Why? Beans, like any other crop, they are feeding. For them to grow, they feed. This means they also need to be well considered. Number one, you will require to plant using planting fertilizer, because at this period the beans require high phosphorus. So DAP or any other planting fertilizer at a rate of 75 kgs per acre. That will be very good, so that you'll have very vigorous germination and very vigorous growth. You can see my farm is doing very well because of that aspect. From there, how will you know that your beans do not get the light or the light quantity of fertilizer while planting? You'll see very weak and very stunted growth, like they are very weak while germinating. From there, my farmer, you have to avoid high nitrogenous fertilizers anytime, at any point when planting beans. Why? Because if you apply excess nitrogen, the crop will be very vegetative, and as a result, it reduces the number of pods. So you will realize for a good bean, it will give an average of 15 to 20 pods, which now translates to around 90 kg bags while harvesting. So avoid high nitrogenous fertilizers. From there, we will require to apply supplementary fertilizers. But first, after germination, you will require to top dress using CAN or any other top dressing fertilizer. That helps in supplementing the planting fertilizer. From there, you will require to supplement using foliar fertilizers. You can do a foliar starter, high phosphorus. Then at vegetative stage, you use 24-24-18. That's a balanced NPK. Then while at flowering stage, you use high potassium or high K. That would be very good for optimum production. Are we done? Are we done with farming beans? No, because we have two more critical things to look at. Number one, pest and disease control. This is where you would go wrong and completely lose your harvest if you miss a single step. Number one of the common beans pest is what we call beans fly. Bean fly will infect your soils, and then at the same time, it will come and attack the bottommost of your crop. It will get inside, it starts feeding, and then it eventually cuts the plant from its xylem, meaning the plant won't absorb water and nutrients up. So what it does, the crop will eventually die. And when you go to look at the crop, once you realize this is a healthy crop, but the infected crop, you realize it is sours, and then when you split here, you'll meet a dead black insect. That's how you'll know that your farm has been infected by bean fly. The right time to control bean fly is to drench while planting, use an insecticide while planting, and then immediately the crop germinates. You'll effectively lead out from bean fly. The other insect that's very destructive to beans is the black aphids. These are very healthy crops because we have been doing routine spray. But for an infected, you realize at this bottom side they are all over black. And then how do you note? You realize now there's a healthy leaf. But for an infected leaf, you realize it's scorching in a way. Even from afar you'll see it scorching, and then you know when you turn, you meet the insects feeding on the other side. They are sucking insects. The other insect is white fly, very common. It attacks in a similar manner as to the aphids. The other insect is leaf miners. The leaf miners will come on the bottom side, and then they start eating, and you meet crossing lines below your leaves. Uh, you also meet what we call borers. They will attack the stems of the crop, and the best way to prevent this sort of uh, insects is to do a spray. At least every 2 weeks you spray once, and keep interchanging the insecticides that you use. Today I'm not going to recommend a single one, but the one that you use, try a routine of every 2 weeks you spray. You effectively knock out all the insects, and every time they hatch. But avoid to spray when you are so close to harvesting. Say after flowering, stop, so that you don't intoxicate the harvest. Up to there, if you have any specific question, you can always reach out through the contact I'm going to give you, or at the comment sections, so that we can know what we have left out. Now, we have effectively planted, we have effectively managed our pests, we have effectively managed the nutrition. But then one last thing: diseases. Beans are prone to attack by mostly fungal diseases. So today we are going to highlight like 4 main fungal diseases that may affect your bean crop. Mostly, number 1, we have what we call blight, early and late blight. How will you know that your beans have been infected by blight? This is a very healthy leaf, and I'm going to try and identify a leaf that closely relates to blight attack. It will look like this. You realize very large or very small sunken spots, yellow in color, some greenish. Now this will inform you that there is a blight attack. How do you control? Use a fungicide, and it's always good to do it before the attack. Because anytime you wait the attack, this means that you'll be curing a crop that will already be infected, and this might effectively lower your productivity. That's early and late blight. From there, the next one is leaf spots, or what we call leaf rust. You will see small brownish spots on the leaves. This is a fungal disease. This will effectively lower your productivity. You need to look at that. Now we have another 2 very vital diseases that can effectively knock out your harvest. One is called anthracnose. How do you know that your crop have been affected by anthracnose? You'll meet very sticky and sunken spots on the stem and the leaves, and the pods that they are sunken, and then they are watery. They look like water soaked. This will tell you anthracnose, and it's very dangerous because it even attacks your grains. This means it might, at the end of the day, make you lose your whole harvest. You effectively control it by a fungicide. Always spray prior to the attack. But if they are attacked, it's possible to do away with it. Then there's another disease called bacterial wilt. Bacterial wilt starts from the bottom part of the crop. The crop becomes wilty, very weak, and effectively dies. There's only one way to control bacterial wilt. Use certified seeds, and anytime you see any land infected by bacterial wilt, spray a copper-based fungicide early enough or even before planting. Same to Fusarium, it's a sister disease, which is fungal in this case. It starts by discoloring, and you find your beans are yellowish at the bottom. So how do you control Fusarium? Because at the same time, Fusarium will start with the bottom leaves. You see, like these leaves are very healthy, but I'm sure to get you a crop that is infected by Fusarium and how it affects. So this is how a crop will look like if it's infected by Fusarium. Fusarium first attacks the leaves of the crop, effectively knocking out all the hair roots. As a result, the lowermost leaves will turn yellow, and then later the crop dies off. And then when you uproot the crop, you realize all the roots are dead. I want to show you a healthy root system. It's very white, very healthy, and very alive. But for the ones affected by root rust and Fusarium, they are dead and there are no visible hair roots. So the best way to control, use certified seeds and then spray a copper-based fungicide early enough prior to the attack. So it's always a precautionary measure other than a curative measure. From there, harvest your beans when they are ready. They are yellow, they are losing their color, they are getting dry. You can also harvest when they are green, depending on the purpose of the grains. 1 acre will give you between 15 to 25 90 kg bags, which means it's profitable, and the majority you harvest between 75 to 120 days, which means you can do 2 to 3 seasons per year, making it very profitable. I don't know what I have left out, but that's why I want you at the comment section. Ask your question, comment, and then we are going to engage more and more. I'm so happy to offer that information today. I know we still have a lot, but we'll share as time goes. Thank you. Bye bye. Until next time, Kilimo Faida TV.